Hello and welcome back to Lucy Licorice Art. Today's video is a little different in the way I chose to film things, but I hope you like it just the same. My goal here with this doll was to create a more androgynous character, since the face sculpt for this doll is rather neutral gender-wise. I ended up making this character into a sort of royal fairy who prefers to be outside reading or leisuring in the grass, helping plants to grow at the start of spring. I haven't decided on a name yet, so if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Also, as usual, the file for the doll is linked in the description. This doll file was purchased off of Esty, and I highly encourage you to check out their store. They're great and they have some awesome prices and sales. Now, let's just jump right into the video. For the body, I decided not to film the process this time. My Nova doll video goes into depth about how I fix up and dye the body and etc. and string it together, and I think it does a pretty good job explaining. This doll I also struggled with in several aspects because of the way it was printed and the way I string my dolls. There was a lot of drilling, restringing, and struggling, so I thought I would just skip to the part where the doll is ready to start coming to life. If you want a non-fast-forwarded tutorial of how I print, treat, and assemble the body, just let me know in the comments and I can work on that. Before I started, I did some little sketches just to help decide what details I wanted in the face and to help get creativity flowing on this character before I started the repaint. I also tested several eye sizes until I got the right ones, so that I had them beforehand to let them dry while I was painting other parts of the doll project. It took me quite a few tries to get the right size of eyeball for this one since they're so small. I give a couple of layers of Mr. Super Clear before I start, and as usual I went in a bit blind as far as color or makeup type, letting the mold of the face sort of lead me where I thought it should go with this repaint. I apologize for the awkward angle, but I got a new nice tripod halfway through this video, and now next time I should be able to have a nice overhead angle without having to prop up a bunch of books precariously. As a last minute detail, I did add a little moon to the cheek since I plan on having a moonish related theme with this doll, relating to the fairy aspect, and also I'm just currently obsessed with moons apparently. In keeping with the moon theme here, I do like how the chest tattoo turned out with the faces of the moons, and I think that in the future I might make a fully celestial sort of themed doll. Do you enjoy seeing the tattoos that I add to my dolls? Let me know in the comments. While I wait for the sealant over the face to dry, I go ahead and paint the eyeballs. These I kept pretty simple since they're rather small and I did want a glittery, spooky sort of feel to them. With my new tripod, I am able to actually show you the wig making process a bit better than I've been able to in the past from the top down. As usual, I wrap the head in saran wrap as the wig cap, drawing out an outline for the hair for reference as I glue it on. Having my hair wefts pre-prepared, I cut off the end and splay out a piece of the hair into a thin line with my fingers. Then I lay down a line of hot glue. I place the hair down and then, without adding any more hot glue, I just use the tip of the hot glue gun to secure down the ends of the hair, squishing them into the glue. Then I just keep going around and around the head, moving up in rows towards the top. Usually I have more of a plan as to where I'm placing the hair, but since this doll has no particular hairstyle in mind, I'm just going ahead and gluing around in circles. I'm also adding little pieces of what I hope will look like dreadlocks, like special little sections of the hair that the fairy would have styled and added string and other bits and bobs that they collect. As I reach the very top of the head, I keep spiraling around and around until it's even, making sure not to add any hot glue to the very last few pieces so that it doesn't show through as much. It's always tricky for me trying to finish it and have it still look nice and have it be secure but not show too much hot glue showing through. Once it's all done, I let it dry for a little while before I start to gently peel at the edges and pop the back off of the head. Then I can easily pry it away bit by bit until the back just pops right out of the wig. Now I can cut away the excess saran wrap and trim right up to the edge so that none of it shows through when it's placed on the doll. Before I start styling the wig completely, I go ahead and place some sticky dots on the eyeballs and use a long pair of pliers to place the eyes in. It was pretty tricky getting them in the right spot since they're so tiny and so far into the head. I decided on a pretty simple part here, since this character would be living mostly outside. I ended up using a tiny clip to secure the bangs back in place. I did some Pinterest brainstorming to figure out what sort of dress I wanted to make for this doll. At first I thought of a rustic forest fairy vibe, but I ended up liking this low neck style with bishop sleeves. It's a sort of Royal Victorian vibe, and I love this gorgeous green fabric that I found at the thrift store. I kept in the fast version of the dress construction for those that find it informative or fascinating, but feel free to skip 5 minutes ahead if this doesn't interest you. I have a much more detailed tutorial for drafting patterns for your dolls and making dresses and such for them, but if you ever want another tutorial on a specific dress style or pattern scans, just let me know in the comments. The last little detail that I decided to add was a nice necklace. I just dug into my charm box and constructed a simple 3-tiered necklace, keeping this pretty simple overall in design. Well, I did have a hard time with the body of this doll, and there was a little frustration along the way. I think my fairy turned out pretty nice overall, and my favorite things are definitely the dress and the moon tattoos. I imagine them enjoying a good book or a cup of tea outside, strolling along the gardens and disappearing right when you turn to look at them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Give a like and a subscribe if you did, and I'll see you next time.